Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are getting ready for our session here. Going to drop us into the Discord channel. You're going to see some new faces. We are setting up for video streaming for everybody and the integration that comes along with it. It's going to take a little adjusting too, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. So we'll switch over and get things started. All right, whenever you guys are ready.
All right, Max, if you would like to go ahead and start the recap for us.
So we started by coming back, right? No, after we came back, we took a rest, down a level, explored around. Right. I remember putting it all back together. Sorry. So previously we'd come back, explored around, went deeper. Then we went around, saw a lizard that we decided to try to free instead of just kill while it was just chilling there. So that was a fight that was slightly unnecessary, but we managed. Pushed forward, found a creepy rock squid thing, roper, and get out of there. Then came back up and fought more things. Those little tentacle things. I feel like I'm missing something in between here.
Yeah, I went through, fought those troglodytes, fought the chain beast. That was kind of a big deal.
Pack before the beast, right?
Yeah, y'all essentially started right outside their lair. Is where y'all started last session.
Mm-hmm. Right, pushed through their lair, killed all of them, and then
we didn't kill the babies.
Okay, so we essentially killed the babies, though.
I mean, there's nobody to help them anymore.
Right. But whatever. Then the lizard, then the other lizard, then that roper, then we went back up, and then we found a door with a familiar name on it. And that is where we stopped.
Alrighty, so like Max said, you did a lot of fighting last session. Ran into quite a few unique creatures, including a giant subterranean lizard, some great ooze, and some form of rock creature that decided to try to tentacle you, which was super amusing. But y'all have come back up to the Glitterhame here and explored a door that you previously had gone past. It had an insignia on it that you recognized, and Kaylin was able to open it. So, how would you like to proceed from here?
We can start with the map.
I guess you could.
All right. All right, we're heading through this doorway. What's the marching order going to be? Put me in front with Aeolian behind?
That's how it usually goes, and I feel like that's what worked so far so well. So far. Words.
Yep, we'll do that then. All right, so let's, I'll head in first. Yeah, extra music.
That was super cool that it decided to keep playing all of the music.
All right. Let's head down our pathway here.
Alrighty. So, as you go through the door, you're able to turn to your left and see a staircase leading up.
Let's proceed with caution.
Alrighty, everybody on the new map?
Yes.
Cool.
I don't know where, but somewhere.
Yeah, it
Be on
is
the
in
left side.
Ah, there I am.
All right. So what do we have here?
So, as I said, there were some stairs going about 30 feet up into the area. Alright, looks like Caitlin's having some issues real quick.
Yeah.
Alright. So, the stairs end at an entrance to an octagonal chamber. The floor is inlaid with cracked, dusty blue tiles, and the walls are dressed with polished marble. Large doors of iron-bound oak exit to the northwest and the northeast. 3 cast bronze statues, almost 10 feet tall, stand by the west, north, and east walls. Each depicts an armed dwarf. The eastern and western ones carry axes and shields, the western one holding an axe in its left hand, the eastern one holding an axe in its right hand. The center statue is armed with 2 axes, one in each hand. The ceiling rises in a dome almost 30 feet above the floor. From somewhere in the distance, you can hear the faint ringing of hammer on anvil.
Can we tell which direction that's coming from?
Give me a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a picture of the central dwarf statue.
Dwarves are like making things way bigger than themselves, don't they? It's a good first roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're able to see, or hear rather, it sounds like the anvil and hammer sounds are coming from somewhere to your east. Yeah, that's what you hear.
Okay.
Can we check this room for traps?
Where are you checking for traps?
Before we actually get into the central area, just see if we can see any like pressure plates or anything like that.
So you're
Great
checking
idea.
the floor for traps?
Yeah.
I'll if I can, I'll look at the statues to see if there's anything in that sense for traps.
Yeah, I definitely see the floor, and also I'd like to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. I like how paranoid you are being. Makes me happy. Roll.
Hey, the last dwarf I saw lit me up with poison. I ain't free.
Yeah, it did.
Give me perception checks, please, Kaylin and Berwin.
Well, at least somebody can roll well.
2 out of 3 have been pretty solid. That's good. All right, so Kaylin, you're very intent studying the ground towards the center of the chamber. You don't see any signs of a pressure plate or anything of that nature. So that's what your check did. Berwin, as you start looking around, taking careful note of the statues, you start walking up. There's no traps in the center of the room. You start walking into the room and looking towards the northwest and northeast doors. You don't see any visible traps, but right in front of the door, pretty much in between the left and right statues and the center statue, you see score marks on the ground, like something sharp was dragged across there.
Like right in this area.
Essentially, right here and right here.
And there's nothing like suspended from the ceiling.
No, it's just a dome above you. You don't see anything up there that could be suspended.
All right.
Does it look like the dwarves' arms might move?
So as you go to investigate them, you do see on the left dwarf and the right dwarf, the left dwarf's left arm. All these dwarves are facing towards the center of the room, just to put that in perspective. The left arm appears like it would be able to swing loose and swing the axe towards the ground. The same with the dwarf on the right.
Do we see what the mechanism is that would make them react?
Give me an investigation check.
I'll help you with that.
Thank you.
With advantage.
$14.
So as you start investigating them, you kind of walk over towards not moving towards where you see the score marks, just stopping just short. You're unable to see what triggers it, but you're definitely reaffirmed in the belief that something could cause these axes to come down as someone enters the door. Either door, northwest or northeast.
Kalen, do you think you could potentially try and disable these arms?
Just be careful while you're doing so.
I'm actually wondering if we could actually remove the axes. If it looks like there's a way to pull them out, or if they're... Okay.
All of these are, they're bronze statues. Everything is connected together,
Okay.
so it would take a lot of effort to try to just pull the axes out.
Well, then let's see. So I don't know how the trap works. It might be hard to disarm it, but could I try and disarm one of the traps?
Is it
You
maybe
can
tied to the door?
Yeah, do a thieves' tool check on it.
Alright.
Do the right one.
No.
No.
Rolling good tonight.
So, as you go up to, I'll say, the right statue, you try to get up there and you're unable to see what really triggers it, but you figure maybe you'll be able to jam something in there to stop it from swinging. Unfortunately, as you start checking around with it, you actually accidentally activate the trap. And even though you're standing away from it, so you end up not getting hit by it, but you do clearly see the right arm of this dwarf statue swing down, score across the floor, and then hang there kind of limply. It seems like this trap kind of activates once and then has to be reset manually.
Oh,
Well, cool.
Well, I mean,
It's
there's only 3 more now.
Well, it's convenient that that one's the one that went off because we did hear sounds from the east. The hammering was coming from the east as well, so...
When I said east, I meant east, not northeast.
Door.
Give me perception checks, everybody.
Is there a hidden passageway behind this statue?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, this is a great night.
oh.
I got this.
So, Markinor, as you begin to think maybe there's something here that doesn't seem like logical here, so you start looking around behind this now activated trap statue, and you discover on the floor, you see some marks in the dust where it seems like a door slides out from behind it, and you discover a secret door behind it.
Okay. Is the door locked or trapped?
It is not.
Can we quietly, as a group, open this door and try to get inside?
You can roll for stealth and try it.
Okay.
Let's do it, guys.
Not bad. Not bad. Oh,
Bad.
Berlin.
All right.
Bad.
Noted. So you're gonna open the door?
Yeah, I'm gonna open the door.
All right. So as you finagle your way back behind the statue, you firmly press on the door, not seeing any way to pull it towards you, and it slides inward. And it reveals another stairwell.
Is this one also going up?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to remain silent and head up the stairway here.
Markinor, as you move forward through the stairwell,
Mm-hmm.
do you speak Dwarvish?
I do.
So seemingly out of nowhere, you hear the words in Dwarvish, "Alert! Alert! Intruders approach," in a very loud, ringing voice.
Oh, well. Well, I know we're here now. Whoever they are.
Motion back to the group to let them know that what I heard.
Oh yeah, I heard it too.
Do you speak Dwarvish?
I do.
Do we
I'm
all
a man of many languages. Elf.
Okay. So they're already alerted to us. We're gonna need to move.
Forward or
Yeah.
just keep pushing?
Yeah, I'd say keep pushing at this point because it's not gonna help us to stay behind. Does the door appear to be trapped or locked?
It does not on either point. It is unlocked and untrapped.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Alrighty,
do
so
it.
y'all just busting through the door, getting ready for whatever might be on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm gonna open this door, give y'all a description. While I'm doing so, move into the first little area of this next room,
Okay.
and hold your places.
Okay.
So as you move into this room, the entire party kind of rushing forward, weapons drawn, ready for a fight after that alarm being tripped. As you move into the room, you don't see any living beings. This enormous hall is lined with 10 great pillars, carved into the forms of giants and dragons that support the vaulted ceiling high above. Guttering orange torches set in sconces along the walls illuminate the room, and a mighty throne sits on a dais at the opposite end. The walls were once covered with tile mosaics, but they have been smashed and defiled by graffiti. Tiny fragments of tile litter the floor. You can see 5 other exits from the room. A small fire smolders on the floor before the dais, where 6 sleeping pallets lie empty, surrounded by packs and supplies. The sound of hammers ringing on iron comes from beyond the doors to the south. Suddenly, a harsh voice calls from the shadows of the pillars. "Go back the way you came. This is the only warning you'll get."
Who's there? Want to yell right back?
The voice that you can't see any kind of body attached to it, but it seems to be somewhere in front of you towards the dais, kind of chuckles. "We are the owners of this great hall. Who are you who dares trespass here?"
Well, I'm the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and these are my 3 friends. We are just looking to see what's around this area.
"I know not of this Spider-Man, as you call it. But regardless of who you are not welcome here. Be gone, or things will get messy."
We don't bring you any harm. We come into your temple with respect and hopefully look for answers.
"We are not worried of any harm from you. You should be the one worried."
I don't know, guys. I think you're pretty serious.
Certainly seems like it.
Okay.
What do y'all want to do?
I'm thinking we should still push forward here.
Yeah, screw it.
See what that hammering is.
Mm-hmm. Is it still coming from The east?
Is it?
Or has
You
it
said
stopped?
south. You said
Did you
south.
say
with the
south
tower?
once we got in
The
here?
further south, the southeast
The other one.
Okay.
Okay, over here.
Okay.
So you're stepping forward.
Yes. Does there appear to be traps in the immediate frontal area here?
Nope.
No pressure plates, no anything.
Nope.
Okay.
Just a very upset and disembodied voice.
I'm going to take 2 steps.
As you take your step forward, as the party begins to move forward, searching the area, trying to figure out where this voice is coming from, you hear another shout from the far end of the hall. This is your last warning, intruders. Be gone, or you will be dealt with in the harshest manner.
Okay. 1 sec.
What is your name?
What is it? My name is Garrett. I speak for my people, and you are threatening them right now. Be gone.
What's the name of the group
Can I
here?
do a check and see if, like, this is a actual physical voice or like a magical projection of a voice?
You could give me an Arcana check if you wanted to check for anything magical in the area. So as you kind of reach out with this kind of magical sixth sense that you developed with handling magic over the years, you reach out and look around the room, and you're unable to really find anything that shows the telltale signs of magic being used.
The Mark of Durgadon. Is this important to you?
The voice chuckles once again. Durgadon was our ancestor. He was one of us. You were not one of us. One last time. Be gone.
Gonna step forward once again.
Okay. If anybody else would like to move, please do so now or forever hold your peace.
Take one more step. A little bit more hesitantly than Mark Nor.
Nope, I'm good right where I am.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how did you spell that guy's name? Ah, thank you.
Alrighty, so as you step forward, completely ignoring the warnings of this voice, off to your left and right, behind these pillars that you're now aligned with, you see two gigantic shapes emerge out of what seems to be something very similar to the troglodyte shaman that you ran into earlier, and they kind of winked into existence to your left and right.
Mm-hmm. Going to cast Bless on myself, Aelion, and Kaelin.
You can do that on first round of combat. I'm not going to say. As you took a step forward, they immediately shimmered into existence, and they are moving towards you.
Okay.
So battle is starting. Feel free to roll
Do the
initiative.
thing.
Not terrible. Could be worse. Could have Kalen's roll.
Really?
Give us another one. Crit fail.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my god. Alright, well.
Okay, so as you move forward, these two creatures to your left and right that appear to be very large dwarves with pale skin begin moving towards you. Aelion, you're first to react.
Well, I'll cast Hunter's Mark on this one. The little closest. And pull out my swords and rush him and swipe at him.
Roll.
Oh, that rolled just off the 20.
18 hits.
Oh, and I forgot the bless. Or no, you didn't see it.
No, you wouldn't have blessed this round.
Right, but that's Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Yeah. The bless is on the attack. Then again, for the first turn, about a 17.
17 also hits.
Damn. And then plus the D8.
Okay.
11, 13 more points. And that's it.
Alrighty, so you're just throwing 2 out?
Sorry.
You're just throwing 2 attacks out, that's it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Alrighty.
with a Hunter's Mark.
Alright, so as you rush up to this one that appeared to your left, you're able to bring Shatter Spike around twice after marking the target to try to find its vulnerabilities. And you do a good amount of damage to it because you do recognize this is actually one of your favorite enemies.
Ooh.
So that's what, 11 plus 21 plus 5, 26 damage total,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you bring Shatter Spike around twice, and you're able to hit, even with this shield and scale mail that this thing is toting, you're able to get in 2 quick strikes right into it, doing a good amount of damage.
Take care of me? I think not.
Berwin.
Is he gonna run?
Okay. Looks like fun. So I'm gonna run up there also. And I'm gonna cast Flame Blade.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, and then with my action attack with it. The 13 hit.
Which one were you hitting?
North.
The one up here.
Alrighty. 13 does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay. That's my turn then.
Alrighty, so as you bring this flaming blade around, trying to score on it, it brings its shield up and parries your attacks. Or your attack, rather. Markinor.
Yep. Alright, so we already know my primary is going to be casting Bless, so make sure you guys activate that. My bonus will be, if I can find it, casting spiritual weapon on the one to the south. Does a 25 hit?
Mm-hmm. That definitely hits.
For 10 damage, and it's going to be positioned right here. And one. Okay.
All right. So you bless the entire party, or
Most.
did you do the normal, not Kaylin?
I did normal amount. I didn't get Berwin this time.
Okay. So you bless most of the party to give them a little help during this fight, and then summon a long sword next to this one to the south, and it swings down and does a good chunk of damage to it. Kind of growls in pain as it swipes across its
Hey everybody,
face.
how we doing tonight? Hope we're having a good night. Hope you're
As
enjoying the
is,
stream.
that one
Some
is
new
being
additions, as you
attacked.
see. We have the different cameras. We will have both
Kaylin,
Berwin and
You have
Alien
just
will
enough
have
time to
cameras
see
here soon.
a short sword coming up behind you from a third creature.
So, but once that happens, we'll have the full party, as
It
you
looks
can
a
see.
little bit different from the other two.
It's something different, trying some new things,
Does
see
a
what we
7
can add
hit?
to it.
No.
How about a 16?
Nope.
I like it.
Frickin' mage armor. All right. All right. So you're able to catch sight of this short sword coming around from behind you, and you're able to nimbly dodge out of the way of these two attacks. You do notice that these creatures are wielding very large weapons that are sized correctly for them, and trying to attack you with them. But with that, Kaylin, your turn.
Well, damn. Can I get up in my shit, are you? Alright, I turn around and I'm going to cast Burning Hands at this guy. So he needs to make a save on a DC 14. The heck? Dang it.
Is it a con save or?
God, still not working. Okay. It is
Dex
a
save.
dex save.
Against DC 14, you said?
Yeah.
All right, it made it, so half damage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 or 8?
It'll be 8. Alrighty, so anything else?
That would be it for me.
Alrighty, so as you turn around after dodging these two blows from this very large dwarf, you're able to cross your hands and send a torrent of fire, but this very agile creature is able to sidestep the brunt of the damage, only taking a small amount of it. And with that, the one on the bottom is going to move to you, Markinor.
Would that give the sword an attack of opportunity with it moving out of its
No.
range? No?
It does not get opportunity attacks.
Come on.
It is not a sentient being. And you see Markinor wielding this very large war pick, and it's going to bring it around at you.
Okay.
Does a 10 hit?
Does not.
All right, so he brings the war pick around, but you're able to raise your shield up and block this attack. And the other one is going to do the same towards Berwin. Does a 20 hit?
Most definitely.
Alrighty. So he brings the war pick around and is able to drive the end of it right into your shoulder, and you're unable to get out of the way in time for 11 piercing damage.
Ouch.
Way to go. Way to stop that war pick, Berwin.
With your body. This way. And we're back to the turn order. Aelion.
Alrighty, well, I'll keep doing what I do best. Swipe out on my Shatter Spike. 18.
18 hits.
For another.
Big damage.
Yeah. That's
Alrighty, you are
17.
going to take this one out. How are you taking this thing out?
Kinda slice his beard off real quick. And, like, with that action and him being so shocked, I just kinda slip it and just cut his throat. Just gushes blood.
Okay, so as you're bringing the blade around, bringing your blue glowing shatter spike around, your intention is to just bring it around and chop his beard off, but you actually went a little deep with your attack. And not only did you chop his long white beard off, you also sank the blade across his throat. And he falls over, and as he does, he actually shrinks in size and then falls over unmoving.
Oh, well. I'll use my bonus action to move my Hunter's Mark to this guy. And move up next to him.
Okay.
And that's it.
Alrighty. Berwin.
Alrighty. Well, that guy just died.
He did something.
I'll turn around, take a step over here, and attack this guy with my flame blade.
Do it.
22.
Yeah, that hits.
9 fire damage. Oh my. Okay. Yep. That's how we're gonna roll today.
Alright, anything else?
No, that's it.
Alrighty, so as you see Aelion taking out the one that you were in combat with, you immediately turn around and charge down the one attacking Markinor, bringing your flame blade around, and you're able to score on it as it tries to attack Markinor. You get an open shot at it and dig it in for a good 9 fire damage. Markinor.
Alright, well, the sword is going to attack. Maybe, hold on. It's going to move forward and do its normal attack. Seven, 18 to hit.
18 hits.
For 9 damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my primary action to cast Aid on myself, Aelion, and Berwin this time. That adds 5 to your maximum hit points right now. Or you add 5 temporary and 5 healing to whatever you have right now. And that's available for 8 hours, so it won't go away anytime soon.
Alright, anything else?
And nope, that is my turn.
Alrighty, so after you bring your spectral longsword around to attack this Durgar, you aid the rest of the party, healing them up a bit, making them a little bit stronger for a little while. And with that, this one's going to attempt to hit Aelion again. It's a 19 hit.
Yeah.
What about a 22?
Also, yes.
Alrighty, so it brings its short sword around twice to hit you, Aeolion, and scores the first time. And as it the first time hits, this Durgar switches the blade down to pierce you for further damage, and then the second one is more of a normal swipe across your chest. You're going to take a 29 points of damage.
Oh shit.
Roll. Did you
Wait,
take your 5 away
no,
first?
that just I just tried to subtract it in here, and that didn't work.
Yeah, you can't do it that way.
Right. So 5. I'm very frail.
Yeah.
You still up? Oh yeah, barely.
Just barely.
All right, so it brings it around and scores deep on you, almost knocking you off your feet. And as this Durgar gets done attacking you, he smiles at you and says, "I told you to leave. You should have listened." And with that, Kaylin.
Yeah, now I'm pissed.
Mhm.
So I'm going to cast
I'm
Witch
pissed.
Bolt. 21
21 hits.
Yeah,
for 12 lightning.
do that thing.
Anything else?
That would be it for me.
Alrighty, so as this thing is just laying into Aeolion next to you, you reach out your hand and attach this electrical energy to it and deal a good amount of damage to it. That one is dead. There we go. Alright, so this one is going to turn towards Berwin, who just hit him, and take a swipe at you, Berwin.
Should have stayed away.
Fortunately, he rolled a 10, so he misses with his war pick.
That was close.
Aeolion, 1 HP hero, let's go.
Yeah. Well, I'm really like thoroughly pissed off right now, like beyond words. I'm just fuck this dude.
That is.
13 damage.
Do the bonus action. I'm
That
about
also hits.
Oh.
just really fuck this dude.
I'll show you
Alright.
to knock me
Anything
down to
else?
1 hit point.
I'm scared to move. But I'm gonna try and get out of his way if I can.
And if you leave his threat range,
I don't know. I know he'll
opportunity
attack.
attack.
Let's see. I'll stay. I'll stay right here.
Yeah, you'll stay right there.
Just smiled madly at him. I've lost all rational thought.
yes, you have. All right, so you're
He's
able
going to
to
try
bring
to run
Shatterstrike
away. Of
and
course,
your
he's
rapier
lost all
around,
rational thought.
scoring home and leaving some deep gouges in this other Durgar. It is not looking good for it right now, but it is still standing.
Berwin.
Berwin.
Well, I'm going to continue attacking him with my flame blade.
Do it.
Oh.
Unfortunately, a 9 misses.
Wow. Okay, that's it.
All right, so this Durgar that just tried to attack you, you bring your flame blade around, trying to score home, but it's ready and fully intent on you for the moment, and dodges out of the way. Markinor.
Alright, longsword again, gonna attack and do its thing. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right, Longsword is going to take this thing out. Give me some flavor.
All right. So as Berwin tries to attack towards it, and what's this guy? What is he?
He is a Durgar, a large dwarf.
Durgar. So when the Durgar kind of moves a little bit to avoid being hit, as soon as he moves back, the sword swings forward and jabs him right through the back, goes right through, impales his heart, and watches the body falls to the ground.
Nice.
With that, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Aelion.
Okay.
For 6 healing. Get some of that health back.
You will have to move up next to him to do so.
Yep, I was going to. Doing my movement to here.
Awesome. All right. So as you slay this other Durgar with your spectral longsword and move up and gently touch Aelion, who's not looking too good. You don't really want to hurt him any more than he already is. You're able to heal him up a small amount.
I'm afraid if I touch you, you're gonna die.
But this other Durgar is going to attack Aelion once again. Does a 20 hit?
Oh, no.
20 hits, yeah.
What about a 13?
No.
All right. So as it brings, seeing everybody surrounding it, it's essentially backed into a wall at this point. Not looking too good. It's getting winded, but it does bring its short sword around twice. And Aelion, once again, with this first attack, it does a twisting motion as it stabs into your chest and deals a 17 piercing damage to you. You are unconscious.
I'm just still
Hey.
grinning madly as I fall over.
Aelion, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop taking damage, please.
And with that, Kaylin.
Well, since I'm still holding on to this witch point, the dumbass in front of me didn't attack me, I'm going to just run damage from that.
Mm-hmm.
Roll up.
3 whole damage.
What? Oh my goodness.
So as you channel this energy, that since you're still connected to this thing with this electric energy that you've sent out last turn, you're able to deal 3 damage to it. It grunts in pain and falls to one knee briefly and then stands back up. It is on death's door.
I think that's all I can do.
All right. Aelion, I need a death saving throw from you, please.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you
That's a
have
good
a
roll.
success.
That's a good
Still not
roll.
looking too good for you, though.
No, it's
Berwin.
not.
I am going. There's reach out. 20 feet there. I'm going to run up here. As I run by, I am going to reach out with my left hand, reach down, cast Cure Wounds.
At level 2? At level 2?
Is he worth burning his spell slot on?
He's just gonna take damage again in a minute.
We'll go with level 1 right now. Just get you back on your feet. But that is 11 HP, so
Yeah.
not bad.
Anything else?
Action. Dang it. And then I'm gonna step right here and into my turn.
All right. So seeing Aelion fall to the ground, you rush over and place your palm on his side over one of his gouge marks from the attacks from the short sword. Then cast Cure Wounds, healing him up, and Aelion is still laying on the ground, but is able to open his eyes and be ready for combat. Markinor.
All right, for the bonus, the sword is going to move into position and swing at this guy here. Does a 11 hit?
11 does not hit, unfortunately.
Damn. All right, I'm going to then swing my warhammer at this guy.
Alrighty.
Does a 15 hit?
15 hits.
For 9 damage.
How did you kill this one?
Alright, so it was down on one knee, correct?
Yeah.
Alright, so since it was down and it was almost at shoulder height for me, because I'm imagining it's a big creature, kind of as the mystical longsword swings at it and it kind of dodges out of the way, it manages to move right in front of me as I'm swinging the warhammer right at it and just right center in the chest, and it knocks it on its back, makes it fall over to die.
Nice. So this thing falls to its back. You hear kind of a gurgling sound from the impact of this warhammer to its chest. And as it falls to its back, it shrinks down to what you assume to be its normal size. And it lies unmoving.
Are they unconscious or are they actually dead?
I'd say they're pretty dead.
Okay. Is there anything of mention on this closest one to us?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 18.
Alrighty, so as you rummage through this small dwarf's body, you're able to find a potion of healing. You recognize the telltale red liquid of it sitting inside of its pouch that it was unable to get to while it was still among the living.
I'm going to hand this to Aelion and tell him to take this. And that was all that was on him?
You also find 5 gold pieces on it.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Do we hear any other noise coming from anywhere around us here?
You still hear what sounds like hammer on anvil from your southeast.
Okay. Surprisingly, all of this fighting didn't bring them out.
Well, you do notice while the doors to your southwest, pretty much every door except the one in the southeast are made of wood. The ones to the southeast are made of large stone. It seems like sound going through them would be kind of difficult.
All right.
Would I know if Durgadin was a Duragar?
You knew that he was a dwarf. You don't know a whole lot about Duragar right now.
Touche. Can I check the other 2 bodies?
You most certainly can.
I'd like to do that.
So as you search them, you notice something somewhat odd. You notice that their war picks that they were carrying, along with the short sword, the one that Markinor searched, shrank down in size along with their bodies. But you do see 2 war picks on either body, or 1 war pick on each body. You also find on the northmost one 15 gold pieces in a pouch, and the south one 20 gold pieces in a POW.
Can I inspect the war pick and see if it has any of the markings like the longsword I'm carrying?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
And while they're doing that, can I check like the sleeping pallets to see if there's anything around there?
Yeah, also give me an investigation check. Berwin, as you look over these war picks, you do see the smith sign of Durgadin resting on the top of the picks. Okay, Lynn, as you start searching through that, you're able to see amongst the packs, you see basically the mundane items that you would expect in like a mechanically an adventurer's pack. So you see some rope and oops, I just closed roll 20. You see some rope and things of that nature in there. You also see a number that I'll tell you here in a second when everything reloads. You find a couple of satchels, much like the ones that Berwin just found on the bodies that contain 41 gold pieces in all.
Okay, I just throw those at Berwin.
Berwin, give me a dex save.
What are you throwing at me?
41 gold pieces in pouches.
Oh, gosh.
Landmines.
Pouch.
Can I catch him?
So yeah, as Kaylin throws this pouch of money at you, you're able to quickly react and reach your hand up and snag it. If you crit fail, it might hit you in the face, though.
That was the plan.
Wow.
Would have hit the
I see
ground
how
and
it is.
spilled out
I see
everywhere.
how it is. Okay. I'll remember this.
All right. So you have slayed these 3 creatures that were here.
Okay.
You have several exits, as well as one exit that's producing sound from the other side. What would you like to do?
Hey, Aelion,
What's up?
you should take that short sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you should.
I should. Yeah. I mean, I really don't have it. I have Shatterspike, but
You should take that short sword.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also
you-
dispel my flame blade
All right.
as a. So with flame blade, I have it for 10 minutes, and I can dispel it and bring it back at any point in that 10 minutes. Just a heads up.
Oof. All right. Yeah, I did not realize that Flame Blade was a concentration spell, so I know that now.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot that too.
Yeah, it's the only problem with the shortened version of the attack rolls with spells. It doesn't give me any information, but I should have known it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Should we check the other rooms first before we go to this one?
Say we start with the one behind the dais.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I'll check that door first.
With advantage, because I'm going to help.
All right.
And I
investigation check.
helped.
Investigation.
A whole 1.
All right. So this is a wooden door lying behind the dais. You try to look and see if it's locked or not. It is unlocked. But you do not spot any traps or anything of that nature.
Also, I take the 2 war picks and set them against. I'm guessing this is like a throne type seat here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to lean them against it, unless one of y'all wants to carry around 2 war picks for now.
No, I'm good.
If those things
All right.
are light.
There are 2 war picks lying against the throne atop this dais now.
We should remember to grab those on the way out, though.
All right. So I'm just gonna open the door. No stealth.
Okay.
Okay.
So as you open this door, the door behind the throne leads into a small audience chamber. A large table made of a single stone slab dominates the room's center, and old tapestry cling to the walls to the north and south. A stone door in the far wall is carved with a dwarf's visage that you've seen elsewhere. Two gray-skinned dwarfs in scale mail and shield stand watch by the far door. They both shout as you enter the room and raise javelins. Roll for initiative.
Oh my god, everybody's just so angry in here. I think they need to work on some anger management.
Can't we
guys.
all just get along?
Why
Wait.
can't we
Keep that in mind. I'm going to storm into your house next weekend and start pilfering all your shit. And when you get mad about it, I'm going to say you need some anger management issues. Things that you're doing right now, that.
How many rounds did we go through on the last one?
4, I think.
The sword would still be available. It's available for a minute unless you think we passed that time during search. If you want to say yes, that's fine.
Yeah, because I mean, you went around and searched the bodies and everything, so
Yeah.
that probably took a little bit of time for you to go through.
Yep.
I didn't in 6. I speed beat.
Man, crappy initiative rolls on my part.
That's okay.
Alrighty, so as Kaylin busts this door open, the entire party sees these two dwarves ready for you. Due to not making any kind of stealth or anything as you open the door, so it made a loud screeching noise as it opened, and they are prepared to fight. Markinor, you're up first.
Okay, I'm gonna come into the room because I have no idea where they're at. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna stop here, and I'm going to...
Okay, you're jumping onto a table.
Is that a table? Okay, cool.
That is a table.
Cool.
So if you want to hop up, it's not very tall. It's actually dwarf-sized. So it's about 3 feet tall, but you will
Take a
have
step.
to make an acrobatics check to get over it.
Oh, that's fine. I don't need to be on top of it. I'm gonna shoot my crossbow at the one to the north.
Alrighty.
Does a 20 hit
20 hits.
for 4 damage.
Okay.
And then casting my last War Priest and shooting at the one to the south. Does 16 hit?
16 does not hit.
Oh, all right. That'll be my turn.
Alright, so as you charge into the room, you do see that this table, with the stature of the dwarves, they're actually using it for some partial cover. So you fire off the first shot, and you're able to connect home with your crossbow bolt into the northmost one. But as you fire off your second one, the dwarf ducks behind the table, and your shot ricochets off this giant stone table. And with that, the northmost one is going to throw a javelin at you, Markinor. It's a 21 hit.
Just barely.
All right. So he hurls this javelin at you as you're taking your second shot to the southmost one, and it connects for 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
All right. Berwin.
Okay, I'm going to evoke my flame blade back into my hand as my bonus action,
Okay.
and I'm going to move right up to the edge of the table here and crouch and take some cover behind it.
Alrighty, you will have +2 AC while you're doing that.
I will bonus movement. Would you say taking cover is part of the movement?
I would say taking cover would be kind of a free action, just based off your
Okay.
movement. So if
That's
you put
fair.
yourself into a good place.
And I will hold my action in case one of them comes within melee range.
Alrighty.
And that's my turn.
All right, so as you sprint across the room, seeing 2 more targets, you run up, and as you're running forward, this flaming blade appears in your hand, and you crouch behind the table, waiting to see if any of them approach you. Aelion.
Kind of lean around this door and shoot this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
19 hits.
Plus
hitting
should
the
be
south one,
wearing
right?
off soon.
Right.
I think.
And then do it again. It's the first turn.
21 hits.
Yeah. Have to
How
take
long
it
is
off.
Bless?
It'll fall off this round.
Okay. Damn.
Or ignore the hunter's mark. I forgot to take that off.
Oh shit. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah. So -2.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm just gonna stay on this side of the door.
Alrighty. So as you move forward, getting a good survey of the battlefield, you bring your longbow up and Legolas style send off 2 arrows at this one down to the south. They both meet home and do a decent amount of damage to it. Caitlin.
Alright, I'm gonna move in just over here, and I'm gonna throw Eldritch Blast on the one to the south.
Alrighty.
Nope.
10
does not hit, unfortunately.
And that's it. Not gonna do anything else.
Alrighty. So you move into the room with the rest of your comrades and fire off an Eldritch Blast, but once again, this Durgar to the south is able to duck behind the table when your shot ricochets harmlessly off of the stone slab. And now with you hurling projectiles at it, it is going to launch a javelin at you, Caitlin. He crit fail. One moment. I'm going to take a look.
He trips and falls over his own feet, hits his head on the table, and falls dead.
He falls down unconscious.
70 for a ranged attack. All right, so as this bottom Durgar attempts to throw a javelin at Kalen, he actually stumbles over his own feet, and it misses wide, so wide that it actually goes to the north past Berwyn. So it's landing up here and just clattering off the table and into the wall. And you see the other Durgar to the north actually get startled by how bad that was. If anybody makes a melee attack against the one to the north, next turn they will have advantage.
Yay.
Good job, guys.
That's awesome.
Give me 1 second to do things. All right, Markinor.
Well, I'm kind of happy where I am here. Gonna kind of take a page out of Berwyn's book here and kind of crouch a little bit behind this table. And I'm once again going to shoot at the one to the south because I'm disappointed I didn't hit it the first time for a crit.
Well, you certainly hit him this time. Roll that damage.
10 damage.
All right. Anything else?
Actually, is that right?
Roll a
No.
D100.
No. That would be
you actually did
8. 8. Right.
17 damage is what you actually rolled.
Yeah.
It was 10. Nope. So yeah, you killed this one. How did you just do that?
So as I quickly slide behind this table, I pull a crossbow up, kind of aggravated it at him from the first time, and just let the crossbow do the work and just shoots him right in the head. Watch him fall.
All right. So as you move forward, taking a kind of stance, you actually brace yourself on top of this table. Since it's only about half your height, you're able to easily crouch down and get a good aim, and you nail this thing and take it out. And do you have anything else?
No, that is my turn.
Alrighty. Everybody give me perception checks, please.
Oh boy.
Okay, so everybody but Berwyn. Berwyn, you are very focused on the Durgar in front of you, kind of peeking around the corner of the edge of this table. You do not see this, but everyone else notices the door in the back of the room swing open. And Markinor, you don't see anything, but you hear heavy footsteps.
Like a lot of them, or just one set?
No, it sounds like one very large thing.
Okay.
And you hear it coming through the door. What you surmise to be coming through the door, it's coming from that direction, and it gets steadily closer and closer and closer and louder as it does so, until it sounds like it's almost on top of you. And as you kind of look around trying to figure out what the source of the sound was, a very large female Durgar appears in front of you and brings a very large great sword around towards you, Markinor.
Okay.
It's a 20 hit.
Does not. If you're giving me cover.
From here, you're not going to get cover anymore. You get
Damn
cover
it.
for range tracks.
So at 20, it's even.
Yep,
So it
it
hits.
is. And the second attack was a 22.
Yep.
So this very large, very upset female Durgar brings this great sword around twice to you. You weren't quite ready for her just to materialize in front of you, so you were not prepared for these attacks. She is going to do 30 damage to you.
Oh.
Ow. See?
Watch this.
No.
So everyone else in the party, you hear just loud grunts of pain as these two shots hit Markinor solidly, almost killing him. And in a somewhat lighter voice, you hear this new arrival say, "What are you doing here? Why are you killing my people?" And she raises her greatsword again for another attack. But before she does that, this top one is also going to grow in size and move around the table towards Berwyn.
Huh.
Were you still holding?
Yes. I'm still holding my action.
Awesome. So, do your attack.
I think I will. Oh, I have advantage, right? Because of his...
Yep, because he
great
was
friend.
startled. Yep.
21?
21 hits.
15. There's a better number.
Alrighty, so as you see this Durgar come around and you're fully aware, he was not actually super aware of you, and wasn't ready for your attack, so you're able to bring it around, scoring across his lower chest area down towards his belly. But that being said, he knows where you are now, and he's going to bring his war pick around. He critted.
Oh no.
He actually
Oh,
rolled max
boys.
damage, so ouch. He's going to hit you for 24 piercing damage. You are
Ouch.
now unconscious.
No, I still have those temporary hit points from
You can-
what's it called?
Yeah, from aid.
No, do y'all just not have those calculated in?
I put them in
Did you-
temporary hit points.
Yeah. It doesn't
Okay.
show in the regular.
So that's 19 to my current HP. Minus 19. I'm at 2 HP in a dream.
Me too.
So 2 of y'all are at 2 HP. Alrighty, cool. So yeah, he brings this war pick around, and much in the same place as the other one hit you earlier in the shoulder, he bears it down inside of your shoulder there, and you take a massive amount of
My
damage.
poor shoulder alone.
But that being said, it is your turn.
I'm pissed. They're hurting me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn into a dire wolf.
Oh, I need a concentration saving throw real quick first.
Oh yes. Oh. 24, so that's what?
12, and you match it.
You match
You
it.
match it. So you
Yes.
successfully keep green flame blade up, but with you shapeshifting, that's gonna drop. You can't really hold a sword.
Touche.
Mm. This is rough, guys.
What are you wild shaping to?
Dire wolf. There he is. There you are, buddy. The battle of the giant creatures now. I have an action. So
Yep.
I'm gonna bite this guy in front of me.
Do it.
Do I still have advantage or not?
No, it's just for that one attack.
Okay. 26 though.
26 definitely hits.
11 damage and then strength save.
What's the DC on it?
13.
He matched it, so he stays standing.
Oh. Well, at least he's better than those 2 dire wolves.
Anything is better than those 2 freaking dire wolves. Alright, so after getting a war pick shoved through your shoulder,
Man.
Berwyn materializes and morphs into a giant wolf and brings his jaws around to bite into this creature. It lets out a yell in pain. It's not looking too good, but it's still standing. Aelion.
I'm gonna do like a Splinter Cell, like where you dash around the doorway, just kind of like spin around, and I'm on this side now. And I'm going to shoot at this guy that Berwyn's fighting.
Alrighty.
Actually, first I'm gonna use my last spell slot for Hunter's Mark on it,
Hmm.
and then shoot it.
Wouldn't you still technically have that up?
No, because that's a concentration.
Oh, right. You went unconscious.
Yeah,
Yo.
That kind of breaks concentration.
just a little bit. Oh,
I need a D100 out of you, please.
come on, man.
This is gonna hurt.
46. Alright, so as Aelion shifts position to get a better shot at this Duragar, he fires off this longbow. Unfortunately, he moved too quickly, and the arrow actually catches the door right in front of him. Doesn't recoil or anything, do damage to him, but he is so surprised by this and loses all confidence that he has currently. You will have disadvantage on your next attack roll against any target.
Alright, well, I'm done.
Kaylin.
Way to go, Neo.
Alright, I'll step back a little bit and I'm going to shoot the one up top with Eldritch Blast.
Alrighty.
23
hits.
big damage. There we go.
There you go. Alright, how did you just kill this thing?
Just shot a force ball through the kneecap. Let's kneecap him.
I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an Eldritch Blast to the knee. So as you fire off this ball of force energy, you catch it right on its knee, and as it's buckling from the impact, its knee buckles backwards, and it slams its head hard against the stone table next to it, and it crumples to the ground.
And that's my turn.
Alrighty, Markador.
1 sec. I'm gonna use my action to disengage,
Okay.
and I'm going to pull back here, and I think that's all I can do at the moment. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that for now.
Alrighty, so you quickly raise your shield up in the air to deflect against any other attacks, and this large female Durgar does bring her sword down again, but you're able to deflect it with your shield, and you back away. Well, with her target moving away, she is going to move over to the newly fresh large wolf in front of her and bring the greatsword around twice. It's a 19 hit.
Yes.
Her second attack critted.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
bad, boys.
Yeah.
Why is everything critting against me, by the way?
Oh, it's not just you.
That's what, the third crit on me?
Mm-hmm.
At least the second.
All
How
right.
much damage did you roll?
We're still, two-edged sword with the max damage on crits. It's happening for her too. So the first attack, she's going to bring it around and score across your back as you were still facing towards the Durgar that's now dead. She deals 10 slashing damage with that one. The
Okay.
second one is going to come around for maths. 1 second. Her second attack is going to come around for 37
Oh, I'm unconscious.
slashing
Wow.
damage.
I'm unconscious, but not dead.
All right, so she brings both of them around, scoring twice on you, and as the second one connects, you shift back into your elvish form, and the brunt of the damage is just too much, and you fall to the ground.
Man. We are so screwed right
Yup.
now.
That second hit would have been enough to take me out of wolf. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, so you are at 0 hit points now.
Yes.
Wasn't enough to quite mass damage you, so thank God for that.
No, that would have been a stupid amount of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so that being said, it's your turn. I need a death saving throw, please.
Oh crap! It is my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Alright, that's a success.
Help.
I'm kind of down to nothing.
Aelion, you are up.
Well, I don't really know much better to do. I'll step in the door, move Hunter's Mark to this big one, and shoot it with my bow
With disadvantage.
with disadvantage.
11.
About an 11.
11 does not hit.
Okay. I'll move out of the door if people want to get out, I guess. Make it easier, but I'm done.
All right, so still kind of recoiling from your previous attack, scaring the crap out of you. You fire off your longbow. Unfortunately, with this heavy armor that this Durgar is wearing, she's able to deflect it away, and it does not hit. Kaylin.
Alright. What to do, what to do. Suppose I best attack it. So, throw an Eldritch Blast at it.
Okay.
16.
16 does not hit.
Man.
Yeah. In that case, I'm just gonna move right up into the center of that hallway.
Alrighty. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, so as you fire off this Eldritch Blast at this large Durgar, much like Aelion's arrow, it makes impact with this heavy armor, but is unable to do damage through it. Markador.
I really have nothing here. I'm going to... Let me check the stats on this. I'm going to throw Alchemist Fire at this thing.
Alright, make a ranged attack.
$14.
14 does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay, so let's see. Shit. Okay, so it doesn't take any damage at all from it then?
I'm double checking. Give me 1 second.
Because I mean, it stays around, it sets fire to the area and it takes damage every turn, but I don't know how that works when it's not, when it doesn't get hit. It's a 20-foot radius, so.
So the way the Alchemist Fire works is if it hits something, whatever it hits, it bursts into fire on that place. Basically, since you missed, it is going to hit the ground next to it. I don't see anything about a 20-foot radius on it, so we'll say it's taking up a 5 foot.
Oh, I can throw it up to 20 feet. Got it, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what it was. Okay. I don't have anything. That's gonna be the end of my turn. I'm gonna drop back behind the door here. That'll be my turn.
Alright, so as you throw this Alchemist Fire, attempting to hit this large Durgar, she sidesteps around the fluid, this bottle containing some kind of fluid, and it flies past her and lands behind. You can see now where it landed, and that 5-foot square is on fire. That being said, she is going to change targets over to Kaylin and bring the greatsword around. Thank God. She rolled a 12 and an 8, which I don't think hit. All right, so with your nimble reflexes, you're able to sidestep around her attacks as she shifts targets towards you, but she is unable to land on you.
Erwin,
I need another saving throw, please. Put another success in.
Thank God.
Alien.
Can't hear you, Alien.
Oh, sorry. So I'm gonna fire another arrow. Well,
Alrighty,
24
24
as
hits.
Oh yeah.
fair bit.
Anything else?
Bonus action.
I'm just gonna kind of move into the room a little bit, and that's it.
Alrighty, so once again, you've recovered from the earlier shock of your attack, missing badly. You're able to fire off your longbow and score home right through this splint mail, or splint armor rather, and the arrow sinks into her chest for 16 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Kaylin,
This is a rough one.
So I'm going to use my action to take a swig of the potion I've had for time. And then use my bonus action to exhale fire out. She's got to succeed on a DC 13 dex throw.
she rolled a 19.
Okay, so she's going to take half damage.
Alright, roll it.
So 8 damage.
Alright, anything else?
That's it, because that was action, bonus action.
Alrighty. So as you take this potion of fire breathing that you've had, as you said, quite a while, finally deciding this is a good time to be using that. Fight's not going too well for anybody. And you breathe fire. She's able to kind of shoulder into the fire, unable to really move out of the way of it, but moves herself in such a way that the armor catches the brunt of it and takes 8 damage. Markinor.
Okay, gonna step up here, and going to cast Sacred Flame. Dex 14 save.
She rolled a 7.
Okay, so she takes 4 damage.
Alright, anything else?
No, as of right now, that is all I can do.
Alrighty, so as you conjure up this radiant flame right on your target, she is unable, after dodging as much as she could of the fire breath, she's unable to get out of the way of this and takes the full 4 damage.
This is rough.
That being said, she's kind of upset and is going to once again swing at Kaylin. Does a 12?
No.
Does an 8?
Nope.
Alright, so she misses both her attacks.
Finally.
Once again, you're able to sidestep around. She's still kind of recovering from all this fire damage she just took.
Finally going our way.
Finally, thank God. All right, Berwin, one more saving throw, please.
Do this.
Nice.
All right, you are stable. No longer need to make death saving throws. But still unconscious. Alien.
I'm gonna pull try this new short sword out. I'll pull that out with the rapier. And
Okay.
I'll come right up next to Kaylin and swipe.
Why
with
would you
the
do
rapier
this?
first?
Oh.
7.
Does not hit.
11 doesn't
Fancy new
hit.
sword. I'm guessing an 11 also does not hit.
Does not hit, and I'm going to point out the weapons you just retrieved are not +1.
No, they're just regular as well.
Just regular old stuff. They just happen to have the
Okay,
dirty
they just have the mark.
I will give a lot of grandiose to anything
Cool.
magical or special, so.
Right. Fair enough.
Alrighty, anything else?
Gotcha. Just kidding.
No, that's
Solid
it.
idea, solid assumption, but no. Alright, so you bring your rapier around first, attempting to do a quick jab towards her, but it recoils off of her armor, and you bring the short sword around, and she raises a gauntleted arm to swipe it aside, and you're unable to connect. Kaylin?
Alright, I'm going to take a shot with a rapier myself. Nope.
8 does not hit.
Okay, with the bonus, I'm going to exhale again with the Potion of Fire Breathing, so another DC 13 Dex save.
Alright, I'll say you're kind of doing it in a rightward way, so it's going in between
It's a single target.
Berwyn and Alien. Oh, yeah, I forgot. No, we changed that.
No, we changed it to AoE.
Oh.
Yeah, but we will say you're just kind of going, it doesn't spread out immediately, it kind of spews out for 5 feet and then spreads out, so we'll say that you're doing it kind of over in this area, and you won't hit any of your allies.
Okay.
So you rolled a 7.
Yeah.
14 damage.
Nice. Alrighty, so you're able to breathe this fire again, trying to be as careful as possible not to hit your dying or almost dead teammates, and you deal a solid amount of damage to her. Markador.
I'm gonna shoot her with the crossbow from out here.
Do it. Nice. Roll that damage.
So what is that? Is
Be 19.
Yeah.
All right. You just took her out. How did you do this?
Oh, thank God. Kind of about to fall over because I have no health remaining. I basically try to aim between Aelion and Kaelin and just as calmly as I can close my eyes and grab a hold of the amulet for a second and then release and shoot right at it.
Nice. So, being very close to passing out from fatigue and damage you've taken, you, as per you, as something you would do, rely on the guidance of Tyr, right? Tyr?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Rely on the guidance of Tyr and let this crossbow bolt fly. And Kaelin and Aelion, both your hair kind of riffles with as this bolt flies by at an incredible pace and hits her right in the chest. And she looks down, gasping at this bolt that's now extruding out of her that went straight into her heart. And she drops heavily onto her knees and then shrinks down in size and falls face first into the ground at Aelion's feet. Whew!
That wasn't scary at all.
No.
Warlock's huh? What's up, guys? You don't look so good.
I'm fully puckered right now.
Gonna walk over and kick her.
Yeah.
Pissed.
Tyr frowns upon that, I heard.
Okay.
Let's
Can we?
see.
Okay. Immediately going to go back here. Is there anything in the back rooms back here? Do I hear any other sounds or anything?
Give me a perception check.
25.
Faintly in the background with that high roll, you do still hear hammer to anvil. Somebody still seems to be oblivious to everything that's going on up here. But in the distance to your east, after looking in these rooms, you see two doors to the north of the room, as well as the door you're attempting to look through, but you do not hear anything in the distance.
Can we short rest
Here, what?
or something? We need to do something.
Yeah, let me go investigate that room.
Okay.
Since I have the most health and still can blow fire out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stay here with Berwyn.
As you move into this room appears to be a bedchamber. In one corner to the south stands a large wooden sleeping platform, badly gouged by axe blows and partially burned.
Man,
A
that
table,
was rough,
a bench,
guys.
and a writing desk have been similarly treated in the room. In the middle of the southern wall, a space has been cleared for a simple sleeping pallet and a pair of large satchels. Two doors exit to the room to the north.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I want to investigate those two doors to the north. Are they locked or unlocked?
They're both unlocked.
Okay. And you said there was broken furniture and stuff?
Yeah, it looks like something came through and destroyed some of this furniture. The furniture that you see that's been destroyed, so everything except the sleeping cot that you see in the southeast, looks to be fairly old.
Okay. And these doors, do they open inward or outward?
They both open inward.
Okay, is there any possibility I could jam something underneath them to keep them from opening inward?
Give me thieves tool checks for him.
I with 1d4 to that with guidance.
Whatever.
Boom. Yeah.
So yeah, you're able to take your thieves tools as well as some of the refuse from the destroyed beds and other furniture. You're able to jam them in. You're fairly confident that nothing would be able to push through the doors.
Okay. And then about the other door opened the same direction, or did it open to the other?
It opened outward from the room you're in now.
Yeah, okay, that's gonna be a little. Well, whatever. I'll deal with that.
Is everything good in there? Should I bring Berwin in?
We should pull him in there, but I want to investigate the bodies in the just to see if there's.
Okay. Just kind of drag him
anything
along.
of value.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Do we find anything on the bodies in here?
Y'all are terrible people, just to let y'all know.
No, we're gonna let you. You're fine.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Just drag. I'm gonna put him in the bed too. A little sleeping pad.
See, we're giving you a bed.
Yeah. I don't need it.
Alrighty, so as you search these three bodies, you do notice that
man.
these seem to be a little bit well off, or more well off than the other ones. You clearly can surmise that these two are guarding this large female Durgar. On the first one to the north, you find a pouch containing 41 gold, along with the weapons that have been previously stated. Some javelins and a war pick. Same weapons on the one to the south, but you do find it has a little bit thicker pocketbook. It has 96 gold on it. And the large one that came up with the greatsword, you do find a greatsword that is now shrunk down to normal size, as well as some more javelins. But you've also found a small pouch with 42 gold on it.
Okay. All right. So now, I guess we'll move Berwin into that back room.
Mm-hmm. Come on back here with us, buddy. We'll put you in the bed. We'll take care of you.
Technically, I'm still unconscious, just to let y'all know.
We're dragging you.
I thought they dragged you.
We're dragging you in here.
Dragging you to the bed.
This is great.
You have no idea this is going on.
Right.
They might not even be dragging you by your feet.
You never know.
All right. So once we get that, I'm wondering if there's enough left over. Make a small barricade to at least slow somebody coming into that third door.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand check.
You still have 1d4 if
I
needed.
don't.
You won't need it. You won't need it.
All right, so you're able to take some of the broken wood and such and make a makeshift barricade blocking off this door.
All right. And then I'm thinking we probably should take a short rest, at least. I don't think it.
I don't know that we would have enough time to do, or would be safe enough to do a long rest here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be ideal,
quick
but
breather.
So what's the plan?
I guess short rest if we don't have enough time for a long rest here. So, and if we short rest, I'm gonna use healer's kits to restore health for people.
If I didn't take a rest and guarded them for 4 hours, could they trance to get a long rest in?
Would still have to do a full 8 hour though.
Yeah, the long rest is going to require 8 hours regardless.
Even with trance, it still requires 8 hours.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
that's not how I read it, but that's cool.
Basically, with the elves, they can do their full 8 hours, but not be asleep for 8 hours. But they still have to. It's more so less than the sleep or the anything like that. It's more the resting time that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
It does make setting watches significantly easier, though.
Yeah.
They can watch and be alert and such and do light activity. But rests are basically in such a way that you're getting rest. You know, you're not doing anything strenuous. You're not patrolling or, you know, things like that.
Oh, I don't have that ability yet. Never mind, I can't use the healer's kit to give people health back. So we can roll hit die, correct?
Yeah, you can roll as many as you have. I think y'all should have your full 4. So you can roll as many of those as you want, up to 4.
We have actually, I think I only have 2, but
Yeah, same.
I have
Well,
all 4 back.
Y'all did.
I don't think
remember
we
y'all did a
rested
long
last
rest.
we haven't long rested since.
It's been a while, but I haven't used any in short rest for a while either, because I haven't taken any damage.
I'm just gonna use my last 2. I'm taking a lot of damage. Oh, that's brilliant.
Also, technically, can I even use hit dice?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say if you're just sitting there sleeping, trying to recover, even though you're unconscious, you'll slowly gain vitality back over time. So you will be able to roll hit dice and thus become unconscious, or become conscious rather.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Nice
There
rolls,
you go.
dude.
The problem is, that's the health I've got now.
Yeah, I burned all of my hit die to get back.
I think it wouldn't be a bad idea for us to leave for right now. Come back.
We're pretty deep in. You're talking leave the entire facility?
I mean, we know of another entrance on the 2nd level.
Oh, that's right, we do.
So there's a back door. There might be more as well. I don't know.
I'm in no way, shape, or form good for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm drained on everything. I don't mind doing a retreat here.
So
I'll protect you guys on the way out.
Yeah.
Tank lock.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to retreat and use that 2nd entrance that we found and use that to get back out. And are we going to head back to town?
Could either do that or make camp.
Somewhere outside, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'd be better off heading back to town because we could get
And supplies. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Might be
And,
time
you
for
know,
that.
maybe see if we could recruit anybody to come help us since we'll have map. We can turn in our maps and weapons and such.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree with that. Let's head back to town and try to get some of this stuff taken care of while we're kind of getting ourselves in a better position before pushing forward.
All right, so you're going to completely exit the Stone Tooth, Durgadin's fortress, and head all the way back to Blazingdale?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let me think about this for a second.
Otherwise, we have to try and take a long rest here instead of a short rest.
I mean, it's one or the other. We have to go back and get supplies, or we're gonna have to long rest in this spot.
And y'all plan to take the exit that you found near the bear cage and everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Kaylin, give me a d20 roll, please.
14.
Nailed it. All right, cool. So you will be able to exit without running into anything.
Okay.
And head back. It will take you about 3 days once you exit from the glitter hang where you found that exit next to the bear cage or whatever. That poor bear. So yeah, you will be able to head all the way back. You will get several long rests in, so feel free to get all your hit die back. Actually, no, I'm not gonna be a dick. Y'all got boned this session so far. It's gonna make you roll for each day, but I'm not gonna do that. So you're able to get out of there, head back to Blazingdale. What's your plan while you're resting it out back in town?
Well, I know we're wanting to drop off some of those maps and that we've made as we came into the Stone Tooth to Barrack, and probably, I don't know. We had a couple of pieces that had the mark of Durgadon that nobody's using, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not going to
we
use
have
the
that
sword.
hammer or whatever.
The hammer, we had the sword, we could have picked up a bunch of war picks and other stuff.
Yeah, well,
Warpix
We
technically
just
are.
pieced.
Right. So we're gonna turn over.
Hammer or whatever.
We're gonna turn over a couple of those pieces. We're not gonna turn everything over to him.
we'll turn
basically-
over that short sword that I have with a mark on it
Okay.
because it's of lesser quality, and but it still has the mark on it.
I think we had a war axe too, right?
I think so. Yes.
Because nobody wanted that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna hand those over to him because we had that agreement that we would retrieve something and bring it back to him.
Where did y'all get the war axe?
That was off of the. Oh,
The hand
wasn't
axe? Is that what
the
you're talking
hand
about?
axe? Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's right.
that was in the
What?
lizard's room, right? That's where we got that.
Yeah.
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 I think.
Yep.
Okay. So you plan on what exactly are you handing back over to the mayor?
The sword and the hand axe. The short sword and the hand axe.
Yeah, the one we got in that last room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you make it back to town, recovering from your injuries, the mayor is very eager to meet you, figure out what's going on since he hasn't seen you in several days since you set off to this area. Word did spread back to the town of Blazingdale about the 2 people that you rescued from the orcs up in the mountain door.
Mm-hmm.
He thanks you profusely for taking care of his people, even though they are not members of Blazingdale. He considers everything around him to be under his domain and under his protection, so he is very thankful of that. As you give him the maps, he shakes his head yes as you tell your stories and everything, letting him know what you went through, the trials and tribulations that you've suffered to this point. Definitely looks forward to anything else you could find, but he agrees to pay you accordingly. He can pay you now, or he can pay you when you decide you're done with this area, done with the job completely.
Well,
completely up to y'all.
We'll hold that.
All right.
Yeah.
As you bring him the items, you first hand him the hand axe that you found with the clear look of Durgan's mark on it. He scrutinizes it. He explains that he's been brought fakes before for people trying to get the reward without actually doing the work. He believes that you did actually go there, especially with the maps that you were able to bring with proof. And looks over and scrutinizes this hand axe and nods and says, yeah, that's definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, he offers he can pay you now or pay you when you decide you're done with the area. As he looks over the short sword that you found in the last battle, he starts to look over it and then look slightly troubled. He asks you once again where you obtained this particular piece of equipment, and after you explained that you ran into some Durgar in the area who were there for some reason, you don't quite know, unfortunately, because you killed everyone. He notices and points out to you several extra inscriptions kind of branching off from it, and says these, while they hold the same Durgadan base mark, they appear to be of someone else's making. And while he does find this interesting, he says that he will be unable to pay you for these because they are not the relics from Durgadan's age that he was seeking.
Okay, so we'll hold on to that sword then. If he's not wanting it, then we can hold on to it and do some research on it later.
All right, so you've gone back and spoken to him, spoken to the mayor about all this. He offers, once again, free lodging and such for however long you want to rest. So I assume you have the intention to go back in?
Yes.
Okay. So however, he says, however long it needs, by all means, I will be happy to pay for your lodging during your downtime. And you may go back and please, once again, bring me any maps, any more information. He does find it slightly troubling that you seemingly have moved into the housing area, the place where Durgan resided, and you're finding other residents there that are dwarves, and he had no word of this. So he asks, maybe, if possible, he understands the life of an adventurer can be very rough, and sometimes you have to shoot first and ask questions later. But if you're able to gather any more information about these ashen dwarves that you found, he would greatly appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can we talk to, what was the guy's name? Sergeant Kuhn, and see if they have anybody that may be able to come along and assist us with the roper later?
So you're going back to see Grindar Kuhn?
Yes.
All right, so as you go talk to Grindar Kuhn, you do see that his constable, I think you got her name, I don't remember.
Dara Whitewood.
Yeah, Dara Whitewood.
Mm-hmm.
You see them together. They listen to your request of maybe wanting some help going in. You found a very strong creature, one that you may not be able to take alone. They nod and they do feel for you in this instance. However, Colin turns around after contemplating for a few minutes and says, I would love to help. This sounds like a threat that needs to be taken care of. However, this threat is not endangering my town. It's not endangering my charges. Once again, I would love to send someone out there, but as I've told you before, our militia is commoners. I'm not going to send any of them out there to something that will surely kill them. And while myself and Miss Whitewood are both capable warriors in our own right, we can't leave the town unprotected. Even one of us going would be detrimental if another orc raiding party or some other threat came upon Blasingdale.
Okay.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
So you get the deep notion that they are hired by the mayor, hired by the city to protect it. You can tell, especially with actually both of them, yeah, they're both very veteran people that have seen a lot of fights, not only here in Blasingdale with the most recent skirmishes with the orcs, but you feel like they may have a history of being in battles. But they are both very loyal to their cause, and they do not want to jeopardize the town that they have been charged.
Okay. Okay, and with that, since we're not going to get any help, start stocking up on equipment you guys need. I've kind of made my adjustments as we've been talking, so.
Yep. Once again, just like last time, any basic equipment you would like to buy, you'll be able to find in Griffin's Nest Inn, or wait, no, sorry, no, the Tolman's Superior Outfitting and Dry Goods. So you'll be able to find basic weapons and gear. So if you need to replenish on any of that, go ahead. We don't need to discuss it. Just subtract your monies accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get anything fancy, let me know about that. But if it's just normal stuff, I ain't worried about it.
Does he carry any enhanced studded leather armor, perhaps?
He carries regular studded leather. But like I said, this is not a very big town. It's not like what you call it, the town city y'all went to.
Neverwinter?
Yeah, Neverwinter. It's not a big city like Neverwinter. They don't have anybody that really, aside from their priest, who has any kind of arcane practices or any super good blacksmiths or anything of that nature. So.
Okay. I didn't know if he made any that, not necessarily magically, but would give it a +1 or whatever.
Not here. You feel like you probably have to go to a bigger place to find somebody like that.
That's fair.
Hmm.
Can we convert money here or not?
There should be a bank somewhere in town, right?
Yeah, there's a small bank, small place. It's not really a bank. It's actually inside the the town square, town center, I guess. Part of the mayor's hall is what I was looking for. But there is a place there that they could, if it's under 1,000 gold or so, they'd be happy to exchange it over to goods. Or exchange it for other money, rather.
1,000 silver to 100 gold.
They could manage that.
Yeah.
Yay, I'd like to do that.
Cool. As long as you don't, as a group, go over 1,000 gold, you'll be able to do so.
That's 100 gold.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the
I'm
same.
gonna do the exact same as well.
So that's 300 gold right there.
All right, that's fine. They will have 300 gold on hand. They ask, if you have any more than that, if it gets above what they have in the store, they'll have to prepare accordingly. It'll take them a couple days to get it shipped out. But they're able to give you 300 gold in exchange for 3,000 silver today.
Cool. Thank you, kind sirs.
The guy kind of winks at you, says, "Yeah, we're happy to take your money."
I'm good.
I'm still buying miscellaneous things that I have.
Okay. I don't think I need to buy anything.
Alrighty.
Although
Anything y'all want to buy, go ahead and do it. Like I said. And with that, we're going to take a 5 or so minute break, and we will resume, I assume, going back to the Stone Tooth afterwards.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. 5 minutes.
Alright. Alright, you heard him, guys. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, hopefully, we will be making our way out of here and back into the dungeon. So, be back shortly. We're just about set here.
I will be ready whenever y'all are.
Yeah, I'm all set, so whenever you guys are ready, let me know.
I am ready as well.
I'm good to go.
Same.
Alrighty. So you've gone through, proffered your goods, spoken with the mayor, got a little bit more information of things he wants, maybe, if you can. What would y'all like to do now?
I think we're headed back in.
Yeah.
Going back in the way we came out, or back up through the top?
Back in the way we came out.
Yeah, no point in going back through everything.
Because it's a good dive in.
I agree.
Alrighty, so the plan is to head back to the Stone Tooth and go through the entrance next to the Bear Cave.
Yes.
Yep.
Where was the other exit?
Yep, that's what I'm going for.
Gonna show me? Okay.
Alrighty, so as you exited out of the Stone Tooth, you actually found that this exit leads to the other side of the mountain, more near to the small lagoon that's sitting on the opposite side. But you're able to transfer around it, leaving the beaten path, especially with Aelion being in the party. You're able to find your way back to the road, take it down, head back to Blazingdale. Coming back, you intend to do the same thing. Markinor this time. Give me a d20, please.
$15.
Nice. All right, so you're able to move back around to where you were, and after a brief search by the entire group, Aelion kind of leading the way, being an excellent scout, you're able to find this tunnel and venture back into it. Do y'all plan on heading back to where you found the Durgar?
Yeah. I think that would be the best idea. What do you guys think?
Unless we want to take on the Roper, yeah, probably.
I mean, we can go for the Roper first
I say
thing.
we don't.
Yeah.
Wait.
Either way, I have a feeling we're gonna have to get past it anyway, so it's just a matter of when.
All right, so y'all plan on heading straight back to the Iron Door and moving back in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Who hasn't done it yet? Max, or Aelion, give me a d20, please.
Oh.
Okay. All right, so you're able to navigate back through, entering into the Glitterheim next to that bears area. and with that, you're able to move back in. Don't see anything. You notice an area you walk through. There isn't actually any battles. You see a few carcasses of like the bear and the 2 troglodytes there, but you do not see anything else. Let me adjust everything around again. So as you move back through, you're able to easily get past the trap once again and move back into this large area. Not a lot has changed. You actually still hear hammer to anvil ringing from your southeast of this large room. The only thing that seems to have changed is the bodies that you knew that were here a few days ago, or about a week ago actually, it's been about a week or so, are no longer present.
All right. What are you guys thinking?
Want to go north first, or we want to head towards the anvil?
Let's go towards the anvil first.
Okay.
So make our way over towards the anvil sound. Does the entryway appear to be trapped?
Give me an investigation check.
$17.
You do not sense any traps or anything, and the door appears to be unlocked.
Okay. Is it gonna take a lot of effort to push the door open?
They seem to be well-oiled hinges, so it doesn't seem like it will.
Okay. Can we slowly push the doors open, please? Try not to make too much noise.
Yeah, let's try and...
There's a difference between I want to be quiet or I'm just
Yes.
opening.
Yes, we're gonna be quiet.
All right, stealth checks, please.
No.
Alrighty.
Oh.
All right, you feel as you're as if y'all are being somewhat stealthy, even with Kaylin kind of stumbling over her shoes and almost falling to the ground. You're able to cover for her, and you're fairly quiet as you open the door.
Okay.
So, double stone doors lead into a barrel vaulted area containing several furnaces. The eastern end of this chamber continues into a large, dark cave from which a cold wind moans. A stream of water rushes from west to east through the center of the room, crossed by 2 stone bridges. On the other side of the stream, 3 bald, gray dwarves work at a roaring forge, beating a white-hot blade into shape on an old anvil.
Okay.
And you should have that picture to see now. These 3 dwarves, like I said, with ashen kind of gray skin, are hard at work at the forge. They have not noticed you. What do you want to do?
How do we want to approach this? I don't want to just right off the bat try to start a fight with them.
Same.
So, I have a spell that has the potential to paralyze someone temporarily.
I want to be able to talk to them.
No. But it would
Yes.
mean that we can tie them up without them fighting.
But that's just one person, correct?
Yeah, the rest will just fight.
Yes.
So it would just prompt them to fight us anyways.
Yes, but we can take out the other two and then have a prisoner.
We'd have to get to them first for there to be a prisoner. And that would involve fighting.
Yes.
Can we try the diplomacy method first?
We can try. I'm all for that.
Okay. Since they're obviously distracted, what do I want to do? I'm going to first cast guidance on myself. And then I'm going to just take one step into the chamber and kind of announce myself to the group down here and basically say, we're not here to harm you. We just need to speak.
All right, give me 1 second.
I hope this doesn't fail.
For whatever reason, fixing one of these character sheets didn't take, so I had to do that real quick.
No problem.
Okay, so you've walked into the room and made your presence known, saying, what was it?
We're not here to harm you. We just want to speak.
So as you walk into the room, and as soon as you let out an utterance, regardless of what it is, they turn around and the Sturgar in the back yells out for the other two, intruders, block off the bridges. And they both move to either side of the bridges. And in front of your eyes, grow in size. And with that, roll initiative.
Yeah.
Guess there's no
That
diplomacy.
didn't go well.
So don't forget you're paralyzed.
Yep.
That one in the back's going to be useful to us.
That's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Try to not kill him, please.
Yeah.
Oh, that means I can't use my other spell that I just swapped out.
Oh, you can use it. Use other things first. I have other ideas.
Now, if I had a 4th level spell slot, I could have gotten all 3. But I don't.
All right, before battle starts, Markinor, give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
Down to your southeast, you notice a small rat milling around across the stream. You're not sure why your attention is brought to this, but it does seem kind of odd to you. And with that, Berwin, you're up first.
You mentioned the rat. I'll step in the door next to him. And shoot this one with my longbow.
Roll it.
Yep.
And 8 does not hit, unfortunately.
Yep. It's that sort of night. That's gonna be my turn.
Alrighty, so you fire off a shot. Unfortunately, with these Durgar kind of standing on the other side of the bridges, they're able to use them for a little bit of cover, and your shot goes wide, unfortunately. That being said, it'll be this one to the east turn next. Markinor and Berwin especially, you see this one to the east start to step on the bridge, and then a sharp word in Dwarvish telling him to hold from the one in the back. It stands ready at the bridge but does not move forward. Markinor, your turn.
I'm gonna step forward once again and ask that they don't attack, even though Berwin's kind of screwed the pooch on that. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to talk.
And as you say that, this one kind of moves around the forge to better see you and says, "Whether or not you came here to fight, it does not matter. We're assuming you're the ones that took out our brethren. You will die for it."
Okay. They gave us no other options. They attacked us, not us attacking them. We came to them just like we do now, wanting to talk.
I'm sure they gave you the option to leave, and I'm assuming you did not take it.
Leaving is not talking. Leaving is leaving.
He kind of scratches his head and looks at you quizzically. "Regardless of your riddles that you speak, it does not matter. You killed our brethren. You will die for it."
Okay, I'm going to slowly pull my crossbow out and just leave it at my side and hold my action in case either of these two decide to come across.
Okay, all right.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay, then.
All right, I'm gonna step into the room.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold my action unless any one of them tries to cross a bridge until that happens.
Alrighty. This one on the left is going to take a few steps and end at the end of the bridge over here. Do y'all do anything?
No, I'm not.
Caleb?
Not yet.
Alrighty. Aelion.
I too am gonna step in the room, see what the fuss is about. Oh, hey everybody. I'll kind of just pull out my swords, point them at the two. Like, I really recommend you don't cross those bridges. Like, I could hear him from out here. We're not trying to fight, but, you know, we will. And you saw how well that went with your kin. We don't want to see more dead dwarves.
Okay, you gonna do anything else?
No.
Alright,
Just ready.
as the last of you steps into the room, the one in the back that seems to be the boss of this steps up to the stream and he raises his hand into the air, and a loud cracking sound appears right in between Markinor and the rest of the party. I need Constitution saves from all four of you, please. All right, so everybody but Berwin is able to save against this and only take half of this damage, taking 4 thunder damage. Berwin, the sound resonates deafly in your ears, and you take the full 8 from the spell that is cast. And as this one creature in the back casts a spell, the other two immediately pull out javelins and throw them at Markinor and Kaelin.
Okay. Can we use ready actions at this point?
At this point, yes, you could.
Okay. Crossbow to the guy at the west.
Oh man.
Okay, I will need a D100. The first attack from the one on the right was at Kaelin for 14. I don't think
14
that
doesn't hit.
15
The second one was at Markinor, and it's an 18. Also, do not think
does
it hit.
not hit.
So both of those javelins go wide. You rolled a 15. Okay. How's your so you're firing crossbow bolts.
Mm-hmm.
How are those crossbow bolts stored on your person?
I have a case, crossbow bolt case on my hip.
So as you reach into it to fire off this bolt, you're able to fire it off, but you forget to close the case and you kind of lose your footing. All of your crossbow bolts have fallen onto the floor. If you want to use them, you're going to have to use an object action to knock your bow or your crossbow.
Okay.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, we're back at the top of the turn order. Berwin.
Okay, diplomacy I think has failed
It's failed.
catastrophically.
One
So
for trying.
I am going to step right over here. And how tall is this pile of wood?
It's only like 2 foot tall. It's not very big.
Okay. I'm gonna try and crouch behind it. Probably not get much, but then shoot the Durgar to the west.
All right. You won't get any cover, unfortunately. It's too small. But roll it.
15, that's better. The 15 hit.
15 does not hit, unfortunately.
Maybe next turn.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right. So as you fire off this longbow towards it, unfortunately, this thing is wielding a shield and brings it up and deflects your shot off of the shield. That being said, this one to the east is going to throw another javelin at Markinor.
Okay.
17.
Does not.
All right, so he misses. You're able to deflect it off with your shield as well. Your turn, Markinor.
Okay. So gonna start by casting Hold Person on this wonderful individual here. They must succeed in a Wisdom saving throw, or
What's the DC?
14.
You rolled an 18.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, then I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon for 16 to hit. Same one.
Same one. That hits.
Okay, it's going to position here. For 6 damage.
All right, you can move that where you want it to be.
Okay. And that will be my turn.
Alrighty. So
Actually, no, I'm going to take one more step forward.
Alrighty. Anything else? That's it?
No, that's it.
Okay. So as you attempt to get into this mind of this creature, you suddenly find yourself kind of in a war of the minds with it. You can sense that this thing has arcane energy that it can use, and it baffles away your attempt to hold it in place. But your sword of Tyr that appears next to it, the spectral sword, brings around and is able to cut into him for 6 damage. Kaylin?
Right. I'm going to target this one to the east with Scorching Ray. So first bolt 10,
10 does not hit.
second 13,
Also does not hit.
19.
Now that one hits.
Yeah, finally. Finally. We needed
9
that.
fire damage.
Alrighty. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, so as you send these 3 rays of scorching energy towards this Durgar, he's able to position himself in such a way that he dodges around 2 of them. But the third one hits him right in the chest, and he takes a good chunk of damage. His beard is actually a little bit on fire right now. Alright, and this one on the left, seeing Berwyn taking shots at it, is going to wade into melee now. Comes up to you, Berwyn, and brings, once again, a very large war pick around at you. 17.
Yeah, it hits.
Alright, so he's really not liking war picks. He brings it around and doesn't hit you in the shoulder this time, but he does catch you with the brunt of it on your side for 13 piercing damage. Aelion.
I'm going to run up right beside Berwin and swing with the combo. About
16 hits.
9. And then the rapier.
Oh, nice.
Bonus.
Roll it.
Ooh.
Oh, and max damage.
Nice.
Damage, nice. So
Or
16.
no, not quite max damage.
Close.
20. All right. So the second shot is going to kill it.
Nice.
How'd you do it, Alien?
So with Shatter Spike, it just kind of like slash and expose a part of his armor, just kind of cut it away a little bit, and then just jab the rapier in deep.
Alrighty, so you bring Shatter Spike around, going through this scale mail, or there wasn't scale mail. You're able to bat away. It's almost like the magical properties of Shatter Spike are able to shatter away his armor, and you conveniently open up the area over his heart, and then you stab your rapier straight into it, and it falls, shrinking to its size you saw previously, to the ground and moving.
And I address the dwarf in the middle again. Like, again, we really don't want to kill you, but don't make us. I'll kind of step behind Markinor a little bit. Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty, so as this one falls over and you address this dwarf in the middle, he snarls in rage at you and points to the Durgar at the other bridge and yells, "Get them!" And with that, he raises his hands once again, and Markinor, you feel a presence much like what you tried to do to it entering your mind. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, you are unable to save. You feel this presence in your head commanding you to not move, and you are unable to battle it. You are paralyzed.
Okay.
Erwin.
Okay. I'd like to try my version of hold person this time
Okay.
on the caster, please.
All right. What you gonna do? What's the DC on it?
15.
He failed.
Okay.
All right. So you
Like
anything
move
else?
up here then.
All right. So the battle of whole persons right now. You channel this mental link with this creature as it's focusing intently on Markinor, and you're able to slip past his defenses, his mental defenses, and paralyze him in place.
Okay. That's my turn.
Alrighty, it's going to be the other one's turn. Seeing you come across the bridge, he rushes towards you to meet you before you can get to the other one.
Holy crap, he's fast.
Brings a war pick around for 12.
A 12 does not hit, thankfully.
All right, so he brings it around as you're kind of tiptoeing across this bridge, knowing it's made for a little bit smaller creatures, but you're able to get across. He swings this war pick at you, but you're able to Matrix style lean back away from it and dodge the attack. Markinor, wisdom saving throw, please.
Son of a bitch.
Unfortunately, you do not break his grasp. You are still paralyzed.
But I can still use the sword. Correct? Spectral sword, because I don't have to move to do that.
Yes, you can still do that.
And it will attack him for 16 to hit.
Nice.
Does it hit?
16, yeah. Yeah, it hits.
11 damage.
Alright, as you hit this, he is going to make a saving throw for his.
Yeah.
And he's going to fail. So,
Awesome.
as you hit him with the sword, you feel the mental grasp that was in your mind holding you in place dissipate. You are no longer paralyzed.
Awesome. And actually with that,
Oh.
yeah, hold on. Working on it.
There's a dude in front of me.
Mm. Will that be acceptable? Or no? Should I make it stop on the bridge itself? Going here.
You're trying
here.
to move over there?
Yeah. Because it would either be... I was trying to go this path. That's 30 to here.
You would end in the same place as Berwyn, so it's not going to work. If you move 35, you would be able to get over across the bridge to the other side, but you can only stop behind him or...
Okay. Maybe I will go behind him. 1 second. Oh yeah, I can't cast that right now. Yeah, I'll just jump behind him for now.
Alright, anything else?
No, that's it.
Alright, being freed from your mental paralyzation, you're able to move forward to back up Berwyn, hopefully. Kaylin?
Right. So let's have some fun with magic items we haven't used yet. I'm going to use the Wand of Entangle
Oh boy.
on the one who's paralyzed.
Oh god, alright.
Auto fails the strength save, so now he's...
Now he's what?
Restrained too, I guess?
Yeah, just in case he makes his wisdom, he still can't go.
Alrighty. That doesn't do any damage, does it?
No, it just holds him in place for up to a minute.
Alrighty, so since he cannot move, he is unable to escape these tendrils of vine that erupt from under his feet and completely surround him, making it where he can not move as well when he could already not move.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That would be my turn.
Aelion.
Well, it appears that bridge is kind of congested over there.
Mhm. You can
So
go around the other path.
I could always just like teleport right here.
Oh, you can teleport.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll use the Misty Step and the Face Step and go right
Alright.
there.
Yeah.
Do it.
Doink.
Yoink.
And then bring around Shatter Spike on the big dude.
Okay. 22 hits.
Yeah.
Alright, anything else?
Nope, that's it. Just the
All
Misty
right,
Step
so-
was the bonus action.
So Kaylin, you notice as you're entangling this other one, Aelion in front of you just vanishes. One moment he's standing there, the other moment you see him across the the way there and swinging the Shatter Spike around to hit this giant Duergar rather. And he brings down Shatter Spike across his back, dealing a moderate amount of damage to him. Still standing though. So he's got to make a wisdom save, and he fails again. He cannot do anything.
He can really not move.
Berwin.
Disengage. Move behind me.
Okay. I'd like to take the disengage action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This river or whatever creek, whatever it is, how deep does it look?
Fairly deep. It's going to be difficult to be in there. Plus, the water is moving very quickly.
Oh. Okay. Is there any way to like step past him to here, or would I have to go the other way around him?
Where do you ultimately want to go?
To right here.
Yeah, you could finagle your way around, carefully stepping by, kind of light-footed, but you would be able to get over there.
Okay. I'd like to do that. And cast. And you cast Cure Wound without breaking Concentrate. Yeah. Okay.
Is that a bonus action?
Oh crap!
Nope.
You're right.
If you have Healing Word, you could do that.
I don't. That's that. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I don't. Yep. That's it for me.
Alrighty, so being careful, you kind of do a dodge roll off the bridge and onto the ground next to the Duergar, and he swings at you but is unable to connect. And you run up behind the other one that is entangled as well as mentally barred by your spell from moving. That being said, this one is going to turn around to Aelion, who appeared behind him, and swing a war pick at you. It's a 20 hit.
Yeah.
Lucky for you, he rolled min damage. So he swings the war pick around, and you're able to bring up Shatter Spike at the last possible moment to cut most of the damage, but you still take 4 piercing damage from it. Markinor.
Okay, sword's moving to here, and we'll be attacking. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's 21.
He did.
He did.
How'd you do it?
Okay, so after realizing I really didn't want to try to kill this caster, and I'm really trying to do the, diplomacy side, I kind of thought for a second, had the sword pull back around, and as it did, because this one was so focused on Aelion that it didn't notice the sword coming around, and as that happened, the sword just swiped right down on it and killed it.
Nice. So this thing, after being pummeled by this longsword, falls to the ground and moving. And with that, Kaylin?
I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
That was just
Sorry.
my bonus. All right, and then I'm going to also move here, and I'm going to I'm just going to hold my action, and I'm gonna wait to see if when he awakens, if he instantly turns and tries to attack, and if so, I'm going to can I do like a grapple if he gets out of this? Can he break out of the vines? Is that something he can do?
Maybe. I mean, he's super restrained right now. Like this
Yeah.
guy, you know that Berwin has a mental hold on him, and he has these vines surrounding him,
That's
so
true.
he looks pretty contained right now.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to just hold off on an action in case I need to. Like, if he's just not going to cooperate with talking to us since we have him here, then yeah, I'll use my action to attack him afterwards.
Alrighty. Kaylin.
Alright. I'm gonna walk up to the creek and just ask, do we want to try and tie him up while he's restrained? I've got rope and manacles.
I like the idea. Yeah.
I mean that's literally what I was about to do, is
Yeah.
throw some manacles on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that.
So, Kaylin, you do anything on your turn?
Suppose just move towards one of this bridge. It should be like right. Yeah. There.
All right. Aelion.
I'll stay where I'm at and let him put the manacles on. I won't do anything.
So just passing.
Yeah.
All right. He's going to try to break free. What was the DC on yours, Berwin?
15.
Oh God, yeah, he didn't pass. So he's still held there by everything.
At 20 wisdom, though.
That makes it very difficult. Berwin.
So I'm gonna pull out these fancy new manacles and attach them to him.
Triple restraint.
All right, so this guy is unable to move on his own accord. The vines are kind of wrapping up his legs and his waist, but his arms are free. So you can just reach forward, grab his arms, put him behind his back, and then shackles are equipped to him, locking his arms behind his back.
And then,
Take
do we want
Jordan.
to try and talk to him now?
Yeah,
Sure.
you want to let go of
Do
one
it.
person.
And I drop hold person.
All right, as you do so, he's still entangled by these vines across his feet and waist, but he struggles to turn around and look at you, and looks at Markinor, looks at Kaelin, sees his two brethren dead, and you see a visible wilting as he kind of sinks in place, and with his head still down, he says, "Do what you want with me. I will talk if that is what you want."
It's all we've ever wanted. Is it that hard?
I'm gonna motion to Kaylin that I see something over here. Try to get her to go over and take a look while we're dealing with this guy.
Everybody that can see the eastern area should be everybody, honestly. Give me perception checks.
Oh, the stupid little rat. Perception.
So you all see as this rat disappears behind a rock under one of these forges and vanishes from sight.
I bet it was that bastard that disappeared while we were fighting the lizard.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So, what are we going to ask him?
We should start with, what's your name?
As you say this in such a condescending tone, he looks up with lower brows and glares at you and says, "My name is Snoverin." Or Snuervin. That's a really hard name to pronounce. That's his name.
We should all just try and say that because it'd be hilarious.
Please, somebody say it better than me.
Snurevin?
Snurevin. Yeah.
Something.
Why are your
He
people
is
in
now known
these
as Snoo.
snoo snoo?
Snoo. I like it.
All right, what were you saying?
Why are your people in these chambers? You guys don't belong here.
Well, they said they were descendants, didn't they?
No,
Did
they
you
didn't.
say that he buffs up a bit, kind of sits taller and raises his chin, says, "We do not belong here. Who else belongs where Durgadin once stood, trying to further his works and bring back his lost art? You? No. We are the only ones who belong here."
So you're the one who's been creating the new weapons that bear Durgadin's mark?
He looks over at Kaylin as she speaks to him, kind of sneers and says, "Yes, I am the one who will do as he did. I just need more time, and I will be as great. No, I will be a better smith than he once was."
But you haven't made it there yet. And yet your people attack, and you have countless deaths on your hands because you're impatient with outsiders.
Countless deaths. We do not go out hunting as those savage orcs do. We do not do any of that like the troglodytes do. We simply stay here to our forges. You came here and ignored our warnings. You entered into our domain.
And yet here we still stand. It's almost like you should have held your people off long enough to try to understand what was going on. To try to communicate with anybody that wanted to communicate with you. We didn't want to come in here and hurt your people.
Wanting to or not does not seem to have stopped you from killing our people.
Self-defense. Why would I ever want somebody to come and attack me? Why would I just let them try to hurt my friends? That's just not going to happen.
And why, tell me, someone so devout to something greater than yourself, would you want someone to come into your house and intrude with no reason?
No reason? We were trying to be diplomatic. We were trying to find out what was going on. We never came in with the intent of attacking your people.
The results of your actions speak otherwise. While we were still down here forging, a few days ago we left our area only to find bodies of our brethren strewn about and pilfered for their goods. What kind of message does that leave to us?
The same message that your unwillingness to be diplomatic with anybody leaves to us.
He shakes his head and just scoffs at you. Says, "Do what you will, kill me."
Who are you working for? You're not obviously running this by yourself. There's more than just you and these others here. Who is it that has you here working these forges?
And kind of gives you a blank expression. Says, nobody commands us. We came back here to our rightful place to continue the work of our ancestors. No one told us to go here.
Am I mistaken, but didn't the king say that the people here are not the same people that were supposed to be here from before? Or not the same ones that he believed would be here?
The mayor said that he just didn't
The
have
mayor.
any information about this. He was very confused.
Okay.
You gotta remember, this place was long abandoned after
Mhm.
Durgan fell, after establishing it from orc raiding parties. They had no information about anything inside here. They knew there were some orcs because they came out and kept freaking wrecking their villages.
Mm-hmm.
That's the extent of their information. So anything you bring new, say, oh, hey, there's some Durgar in there. Like, the fuck? Okay, cool. Tell us more.
Okay. What do you guys think? Because he's not really giving us anything to go on here.
You're
And
really asking him the right question.
right, that's what I was
would
just
like to
thinking.
ask him, was Durgan a Duragar like you are?
Give me. I've been saying Durgar a lot, just so you have a clear picture of it. Give me a history check to see if you know anything about Durgar. So no, you don't. You know.
Well, he doesn't look like a normal dwarf.
Right. So yeah, the appearance-wise, as
So-
far as stature and everything, they look like normal dwarves, aside from the fact that their skin is gray and ashen.
And their eyes are
Very dark eyes.
Mhm.
It almost seems like they have very similar eyes to Kaylin from long times underground.
right.
Like, I would
Does-
thought Duragar than they would. My time in the Underdark.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you should give me a history check then.
Mr. Underdark person.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Caitlin, you know that Duragar are descendants of regular dwarves. They were ones that were driven into the Underdark, into the deep reaches of the earth, and were there for centuries, never seeing the light of day. You know that the Duragar were once dwarves, and before their greed and endless delving beneath the earth brought them into contact with the Mind Flayers, much like yourself. They were held in captivity for generations by the Illithids, and the dwarves eventually won their independence with the aid of the evil god, Lodogor. Unfortunately, slavery has forever changed them, darkening their spirits to make the Duragar as evil as the tyrants they had escaped. They're very dour, pessimistic, and untrusting creatures. They're still very proud of their accomplishment as far as their craftsmanship, much like the regular dwarves. You know that they're born to darkness, much like the Drow. The Underdark is saturated with strange and magical power, which the Duragar absorbed over generations of imprisonment. The Duragar can increase their size and strength for a short time, becoming a powerful, oversized warrior. If it faces a foe it can't fight, or when spying on creatures approaching its territory, it can just as easily become invisible and slip away into the darkness.
Yeah. Suppose I would pass that history lesson on. I know. And
So that's what he is. So let me ask you this: was Durgadin, as my friend has enlightened me, a Duragar like yourself?
He looks at you and shakes his head. No. He was one of our ancestors before we went to the Underdark.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
If so much time has passed, how do you know that you really are his descendant?
And once again, as he did, to being accused of coming somewhere he didn't belong, he puffs out his chest and raises a chin. Says, our history is rich with the passings of Durgadin. We know his ways. We know of most of the ways that he was able to create such fantastic things in his day. We know where our ancestors come from.
Yet you obviously haven't learned everything you need to know to create the same quality equipment that Durgadin made.
He kind of grimaces with that. Says, we may not have been successful thus far, but giving time, always we need more time. We'll be able to reach that level of grandeur once again.
And what do you think is the cause of not being able to reach such standards?
Many things were lost when Durgan fell. Much of his teaching and his practices were of that, and therefore we're having to start from scratch, reverse engineering things that we've found to try to replicate them. It has been a difficult trial.
Do you believe any of this information is still within this stone tooth? Somewhere within the caverns?
He kind of shrugs and looks off towards the doors that you entered through. There are areas we do not dare tread around the foundry. There may be something there, but we have not gone to seek it out.
Well, what if we do that for you then, and help you in this?
He considers it and then scowls once again back towards you. What would lead me to believe that you would do something for me?
We haven't killed you yet, have we?
You might as well have, slaying my brethren. There's no one left now but me.
Okay.
Well, you're the important one, right? That's all that matters. Nothing left but your work.
The one who led us, Nimira, she was slayed by you. I am not the important one, I am just the forge master.
What's more important to a dwarf than smithing?
He grimaces and looks at you. Aelion says, the lives of my kin, perhaps?
Then
No,
perhaps
He's got a point there, you know. He does have a point there.
if lives were that important, perhaps you shouldn't be so short-fused.
Could help. I kind of walk away a little bit and ask him, so there's areas you don't go. How do we get there? Perhaps we could show courage where you can't.
He smiles and looks over to the direction you went. Says, if you want to show true courage, young adventurers, venture down that hole there. There'll be something very special for you down there.
That's encouraging. A hole.
He kind of laughs at you as you say that. And just in case this hasn't been conveyed with my explanation and this demeanor the entire time, Durgar aren't good people.
Yeah.
No.
No, but we have just killed everybody. He probably, maybe not has ever known, but it's still hard not to feel bad. Hey. I want to move towards this hole, ignoring him, and check it out.
This river that's running west to east, does it drop down to the river that we saw below?
He thinks for a moment. He says, perhaps eventually. There's a black lake below us. That may be the reservoir for what's on the surface. That is something I do not know. You see, my people don't go to the surface. That is not our lair, not our land.
Well, thanks, Snoo Snoo.
He kind of looks at you, marking on his face. I will say this. The other passages on this level around the foundry are treacherous. There are undead, cursed magic all around, places we do not go, for we are smart enough not to. Good luck.
Okay. The rooms to the south of here. I'm guessing unlocked doors and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay. I because we know the kind of people that they are, I almost don't feel bad about wanting to have the party search the area and see what's available. But I have a feeling Markinor would. Just because we're trying the diplomacy side, and it wouldn't be very diplomatic to walk into his chambers and start taking things.
You can give me an insight check. And we'll see what you can glean off of that.
Everything.
Everything. All right. So, through this entire discourse, you felt that he has been speaking the truth, especially about him being the last one left as far as the Durgar are concerned. He looked very sullen as he said that, and even from this twisted evil creature, you could sense sadness coming from him. That he did slay all of his brethren.
Hey, Jeff.
When he
How's it
mentioned
going, man?
something being down below, you felt that he was being truthful, that it was something very dangerous, but you feel like he knows what it is, but hasn't disclosed it. What else has he said?
He mentioned something about another individual. Was that the woman that we slayed earlier?
Yes, Namira.
Okay. Yes.
He did mention that.
Yep.
He would, rightfully so, because of all the other Durgar you've run into are all male, and that one was clearly female. You'd think he would be referencing her.
Mm-hmm. Do we know any specific areas that he feels are particularly dangerous and they would not want to go to themselves?
You are very certain that he is very scared of what is below, but only very slightly less scared of the other places he mentioned on this floor.
Okay. All right. So what do we do with him?
That thing that you mentioned below, would it have resembled a stalagmite with arms?
He kind of looks at you and says, "Do you speak of a roper, perhaps?"
Yes, I didn't know if you knew what a roper was,
There.
but yes.
I have lived in the Underdark my entire life. Of course I know what one is. But no, what lies below is far worse than one of them.
What is it that you speak of that is down there?
He kind of spreads a very white, very toothy grin as he looks at you. Says, "Why? There's a dragon down there, of course."
Oh, really? Can I insight check him to see if he's telling the truth about that?
You most certainly can. He is 100% telling the truth. You think there is an ancient dragon laying below you right now.
I'll ask him, what color is it then?
She is as black as the night.
Well,
So a chromatic dragon then.
and black dragons are vicious, to say the least.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying when my plan comes together.
I don't like this plan.
It's the DM plan. You're not supposed to like it.
Well, if it really is a dragon, what's stopping us from taking you with us and feeding you to it?
Oh.
All right, lawful good paladin.
He's an abomination.
Jesus.
He's an abomination.
I mean, do you want to transfer that statement to the evil ass
I mean,
and say it in undercommon so that the rest of the group doesn't hear it?
Yeah, I like that.
playing alignment's not doing well right now. We'll say Caitlin said that because holy crap, calm down. He gets very wide-eyed as you mention that. Says, "No, do not take me down there with that thing. She'll kill us all."
Got it. Putting you on a 10-foot pole, you're going first.
He struggles against the manacles. Doesn't break free. You're 100% getting the feeling he is freaking terrified of what's down there.
But only slightly less so than the traps on this floor.
Which nobody's
That's
asked
a
about.
Mm-hmm. Which traps? Wait, there are traps on this floor? Oh, right. He mentioned that there were traps going to the other areas, correct?
Traps, undead,
Yeah.
dark magic.
He said
Yes.
there were undead and cursed magic in the areas surrounding.
Do we know the type of traps that are in those areas? Or does he know the types of traps that are in those areas? And is he willing to tell us?
Asking a lot right now.
I know. Oh, we've already threatened to throw him down to the dragon, so
Yeah.
he knows we're kind of
Yeah,
serious
yeah.
at this point.
Once again, he'll tell you that his people have not ventured into there. They lost a few who went in there, and they saw what happened to them, and they decided it was, nah, we're good. We'll stay in our rooms. They can stay in theirs.
I don't think we're going to get much more information out of him.
So if we did say, not feed you to a dragon and let you go, what would you do?
He looks around and says, well, everyone that came with me to this place has died by your hands. I would go back to get more. Our task is not complete. We must bring the glory of Durgadin back to the surface. That is my goal, and that is what I will do.
Okay. I'm gonna.
He seems pretty truthful about that.
Yeah.
Berwin thinks he's lying, though.
Yeah. About everything.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm just over here in the corner now, thinking about this ancient black dragon that's down there now, and how it probably shouldn't be down there in the first place. Because how else would it get there?
Why don't you ask him?
That might be a thing you should do.
Yeah.
Now, 100% have a source of information right now,
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's me.
since you killed the rest of them that were supposed to tell you these things.
Okay, so pit's bad. All of the hallways and entryways everywhere else is bad. Lots of dead things. Yeah, we're gonna do fine. We're okay.
Yeah, I want to ask him about that. Black dragons aren't usually in caves and whatnot. Why is one here?
He looks at you and says, I do not try to understand dragons. I just stay out of their way. They typically try to set up their lairs in somewhere dark and secretive. The Black Lake Blue is just that.
I suppose.
How big is this dragon?
Bigger than you.
No shit.
Don't forget, that means it's bigger than you too, dwarf.
Yes, and I'm smart enough to stay up here.
Yeah.
Can we?
Okay.
Can we throw him over
Smarts
the
don't
cliff?
necessarily mean much when we can take you with us.
Yeah, I do think we should take him with us just because. Have him. I have a feeling that he can lead us somewhere, but I could be wrong on that too.
Oh, he'll struggle the whole way.
Mm-hmm. He'll be a distraction the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
So these traps you speak of, on this floor, what are they?
There are things that haunt the passages above us, referring to the north, not directly above you. Great battle happened here in the past. This is where Durgadin made his last stand against the orc scum that took his life. A battle like that leaves traces of itself behind.
So
I
to
see.
the north then.
And how did you and your brethren get in here past the orcs?
And troglodytes and everything else that's here.
There was a passage on the Glitterhaim. I briefly mentioned it. It was blocked off because it was another one like in the Summit Citadel that led to the Underdark.
Straight to the Underdark.
Yeah. Just because I didn't want y'all to go off into the Underdark and start exploring when I don't have any maps for that, it was blocked off. But there is a passage in the Glitterhaim. You're able to surmise that they probably either fought off the troglodytes or made deals with them to let them come up here. And they've been residing here since. So if for whatever reason y'all let him leave, he would go out that exit and retreat back to the Underdark.
And bring more people back.
Probably.
Yeah. And would they be hostile towards us?
Probably.
Yeah.
Assume it would take some time for him to rally them and get them back, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, my people do not reside close to this mountain. You would have no fear of us coming back anytime soon.
Hey, we may even check in like a year later or so and see how you're doing.
Grins at you and says, "We'll be doing just fine, elf."
I wasn't referring to you. I was referring to the progress on recreating the weapons.
So was I.
Not as
Oh.
good as Durgadin.
Cool.
You guys are dicks.
Lawful good does not mean I have to be nice when I talk to people.
Lawful good is not lawful nice. You are
Yes.
correct.
Should we check these doors out, Caitlin?
Yeah,
Chaotic good is most definitely not.
I'd say
What am I checking out?
the
I see
rooms
two
to the
doors
south.
here.
So we are going to check the rooms to the south?
I
I
say we
mean-
do. Yeah.
Or you just want me to kick him into the stream?
No.
It would take him
Yeah.
straight to the pit. I mean,
I'd at least like
Get
my
his
manacles
wish.
back.
Give you mine. Alright, I'll go check this door.
Doors aren't trapped. They're unlocked. They lead to two small storage rooms.
Anything of note?
Not there.
Cool.
is the rat that we saw earlier that disappeared, is that possibly what he's afraid of? Is the thing below? That he's claiming is a dragon?
As you kind of mutter that out loud, he starts laughing hysterically at you. You're terrified of my familiar? Really? You messed our entire clan here, and you're scared of a common rat? Laughable. It's literally just a rat.
It's just a rat?
Yeah, he was going to be used to like cast like shocking grasp on you if you got close enough, but he couldn't get in there without dying. So
Yeah.
the rat's not a big deal. Don't get sidetracked.
Okay.
We always get sidetracked.
Always. All the time.
I mean,
Okay.
dragons can polymorph.
Old dragons can, yeah.
polymorph, but yeah.
So what do we want to do with this guy?
You want to set me free?
I
No,
didn't
you want
ask
us to set you free.
If I asked you, it would have been in a different language.
He tells you to go fuck yourself in Undercommon.
Hey, we
Yeah, he's gonna like what I do if we get to kill him.
in Elvish. Oh yeah, now y'all speak Druidic. Damn it. In Elvish, I asked our wonderful group here what we should do with him.
I'm obviously going to go the lawful good route and say that we got what we wanted out of him and we should release him. The rest of the party will do as they must.
I lean to letting him go because one, he is no threat to anyone outside of this location because they don't go outside.
He could still be a threat to us as we leave.
I don't think he's that stupid.
Yeah. If
The
he
look
is.
on Havoc's face.
I've been rolling to see if he gets out of these manacles this entire time.
Okay. I switched to Dwarvish. I think we will let you go.
He nods and says, "As you should after murdering my people."
That's not why, but yeah.
You guys don't even feel a little bad about this. It's terrible.
I feel just a tiny bit.
I may later when I go to sleep. I walk over. Okay. When I take these off, you're just gonna leave, right? No funny business.
There's nothing funny about what he wants to do.
I will leave. You have beat us. We're done here for now. So I will leave.
Very well. I unlock the manacles and take them.
As you do so, he stands up and looks down at the vines still surrounding his feet and waist.
Oh, right.
That would have been gone a long time ago.
Oh,
We've been
okay.
Well, it's only a minute.
Okay, yes, maybe they've got away then. All right, so he's free to go. Unless y'all plan on stopping him, he is going to leave.
Nope.
Feel free.
Going once.
Mm-mm.
Going twice. He leaves out of the northern passage that you came through, and you can hear him walking away into the distance back towards the entrance into the foundry that you came through.
Okay. So north is dangerous, the pit is dangerous, the roper is dangerous, and everything's going to kill us.
Apparently, there's a ancient black dragon down there.
Welcome to the Forge and Fury. All right, so we're going to call it a night there, guys. Y'all have had some interesting encounters today. So, but yeah, we'll call it there and see how you proceed. Now that you have some more insights as to what is laying for you or lying for you
All right.
in the future.
So with that being said, we're going to end the stream here. Thank you guys for watching. Be back
We're not done yet.
Tuesday for Destiny 2 and Thursday.
Man, I was really hoping we could kill him. So I was going to have fun with that one. It's going to use levitate.
Hope to see you guys soon. This has been
Levitate him over the
Forgebreaker
forge
for
and just let
D&D
him
night.
slowly fall in.
So have a good night and hope to see you
Is
soon.
anybody going to look around this room?
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
one? To
The forge room?
Yeah, the room you're in.
Yeah,
It
In
ain't
the
right.
storerooms, yeah.
Nobody's done that, so
not yet. We were talking.
I was gonna do that after I let him go.